If you can't focus anymore, you're not lazy. You're not undisciplined. You're not broken. Your brain is overloaded. Too many inputs, too many tabs, too many decisions, too many tiny interruptions that reset your attention every few minutes. And here's how you know this is true. You sit down to do something important, and within 30 seconds, your hand reaches for your phone. Not because you want to ruin your life, because your brain is looking for relief. You open a tab, then another tab, then another. You check one message, then you check another. Then you just quickly scroll. And when you finally look up, an hour is gone. You feel guilty. You feel frustrated. And you tell yourself the worst lie. I have no discipline. No, your focus isn't dead. It's buried under noise. Today I'll show you why your brain can't focus anymore, what's actually happening inside your attention system, and the fastest way to rebuild focus without turning your life into a monk routine. If you feel constantly distracted, comment ME, because what you're dealing with isn't a personality problem. It's an environment problem, a system problem, and systems can be fixed. Part 1, focus is a resource, not a personality. Let's define the truth. Focus is not a trait some people are born with and others aren't. Focus is a resource, like battery, like energy, like money. And right now, you're spending it like you have infinite supply. Every notification is a tiny robbery. Every quick check is a reset. Every scroll is a leak in the system. And here's the painful part. Most people don't lose focus in one big moment. They lose it in 1,000 tiny moments that feel harmless. Let me just check one thing. Let me just reply quickly. Let me just see what's new. That's how focus dies. Not dramatically, quietly. So before we talk about fixes, you need to understand what you're fighting. You're not fighting laziness. You're fighting overload. A brain that is constantly reacting can't also be deeply focused. Reaction mode and focus mode don't run at the same time. If your brain is always on alert, always scanning, always consuming, it won't sit still long enough to build anything meaningful. Story 1. I work all day, but produce nothing. This is the story I hear constantly. I worked for hours, but I didn't do anything. And when you look closer, their day looks like this. Work for 5 minutes. Check phone. Back to work. Reply to message. Back to work. Open YouTube. Back to work. Check email. Back to work. Scroll. That's not working. That's switching. And switching is expensive. So let's break down the 3 biggest reasons your brain can't focus anymore. Part 2 reason Hasson. Too much input, too little recovery. Reason number 1 is simple. Your brain never rests anymore. Even when you think you're relaxing, you're consuming. Shorts, reels, news, drama, advice, opinion, message, notifications. Your brain is always processing, always reacting, always alert. And that creates a silent problem, nervous system fatigue. A tired nervous system does not focus. It scans for danger. It seeks comfort. It craves easy dopamine. So, if you feel like your mind is noisy all the time, if you feel mentally tired, even when you didn't do hard work, that's overload. And here's the part people don't want to hear. A brain that is constantly stimulated becomes less sensitive. Meaning, you need more stimulation to feel anything. So sitting down with one quiet task feels painful. Reading feels slow. Writing feels boring. Thinking feels heavy. So your brain tries to escape back to stimulation. And you think you have a motivation problem. You don't. You have a recovery problem. Simple test. When was the last time you had 10 minutes of real silence? No phone, no music, no scrolling, just you and your mind. If that sounds terrifying, your brain is overloaded. Story 2. I can't even watch a movie. Some people can't even watch a movie anymore. They pause. They check their phone. They scroll while the movie plays. They don't even realize they're doing it. That is not a personality flaw. That is a trained attention system. Your brain has been trained to chase novelty every few seconds. So anything slow feels like suffering. And focus requires the ability to stay with something slow. So we have to rebuild that ability. Part 3 reason #2. Context switching is killing your brain. Reason number 2, context switching. Let's destroy a myth. You are not multitasking. You are task switching, and every switch has a cost. Your brain pays a reload fee every time you jump from one context to another. Work phone, work chat, work email, work scroll. Each time you switch, your brain has to reload. What was I doing? Where was I? What was my plan? What was the next step? That reload is not free. It burns attention. It burns energy. It burns clarity. That's why you can work for 3 hours and still feel like you did nothing. Because you didn't do 3 hours of focus. You did 3 hours of switching. And switching feels busy, but produces nothing. Real example. You're writing. You write 2 sentences. A message pops up. You respond. You come back, and your brain is blank. You don't even remember what you were about to write next. That's not because you're dumb. That's because switching resets working memory. So the goal is not try harder. The goal is switch less. If you fix switching, your focus comes back fast. Part 4, reason. #3, decision fatigue. Reason number 3, too many decisions. Your brain is overloaded by choices. What to watch, what to reply, what to eat, what to do next, which tool, which app, which plan, which strategy. Every small choice drains your decision energy. And when your decision energy is drained, focus collapses. Because focus requires direction, and direction requires decisions. So if you feel like you can't start, if you feel like you keep bouncing between tasks, if you feel like everything feels heavy, that's decision fatigue. You're not unfocused. You're decision exhausted. Your brain doesn't want another decision, so it chooses the easiest path. Scroll. Scrolling is the perfect trap because it requires 0 decisions. It decides for you, so your brain chooses it as relief. And that creates the loop. Part 5, the brain overload loop. Here's the loop keeping you stuck. Overload creates discomfort. Discomfort creates escape. Escape creates more overload. Overload creates more discomfort. You escape into quick dopamine, scrolling, checking, snacking, random research. That gives temporary relief. But it increases input. It increases switching. It increases fatigue. So the loop gets stronger. And then you blame yourself. Stop doing that. Your focus is being stolen by a system designed to steal it. So we don't fight this with willpower. We fight it with structure. Part 6, the focus reset system. Now the solution, not a perfect lifestyle. Not wake up at 5 a.m. and meditate for 2 hours. No. A simple system you can run even on busy days. Step 1, the 1 input rule. 1 task, 1 screen, 1 input. If you need music, 1 playlist only. No switching songs every minute. No browsing while working. And most important, phone out of reach. Not on the desk, not face down, not silent mode. Out of reach, because if it's within reach, you will touch it. Not because you're weak, because you're human. Remove temptation. Don't negotiate with it. Step 2, the 25/5 block. Focus doesn't come back by hoping. It comes back by training. So you use time blocks. 25 minutes. Only the task. 5 minutes. Stand up, water, breathe, stretch. No doom scroll during breaks. Because if you scroll during the break, you don't recover. You stimulate more, and then you start the next block already tired. So breaks must be recovery, not stimulation. Step 3, close the loop with 1 output. This is the secret weapon. Don't aim to finish everything. That makes your brain panic and avoid. Aim for 1 small output. 1 paragraph written, 1 page of notes, 1 clip edited, 1 email drafted, 1 slide completed, 1 thumbnail draft. Output gives your brain a reward that is real. Not fake dopamine, real progress. And real progress makes it easier to focus next time. Because your brain starts trusting, when I sit down, something happens. Step 4, the start line setup. Kill friction. If starting is annoying, you won't start. So you prepare your start line. Open the file before you go to bed. Put the notebook on the desk. Write the first sentence template. Keep the task list to 3 items, not 30. Make starting stupidly easy. Because most people don't quit because the work is hard. They quit because starting is friction. Step 5. The switch tax rule. Every time you feel the urge to switch tasks, you must pay a tax. Write down the reason you want to switch on a sticky note. Then wait 10 seconds. Most switches are emotional, not logical. This rule forces awareness, and awareness kills mindless switching. Story 3. What focus feels like after 7 days. When people run this system for 7 days, something changes. They don't become perfect. They still get distracted sometimes. But the difference is this. They can come back. They stop spiraling for an hour after one distraction. They return in minutes. And that's what focus really is. Not never being distracted, but returning quickly. Part 7. The 7-day focus challenge. Here's your challenge. 7 days, 1 focus block per day. Day 1, 2. Phone out of reach plus 255 block. Day 3, 4. 2 focus blocks per day. Day 5, 7. Add the 1 output rule. At the end of 7 days, ask yourself, did I rebuild my focus? Or more honestly, did I rebuild my ability to return? Because focus is not a gift, it's a skill. And skills come back when you train them. So why can't you focus anymore? Because your brain is overloaded. Too much input, too much switching, too many decisions. And the fix is not guilt. The fix is structure. 1 task, 1 input, 1 block, 1 output. Then repeat. If you want the next video, how to rebuild attention in 30 days, comment next. And if this described your life too well, share it with the one friend who says, I can't focus every day and thinks it's a personality flaw.